This is Marla Kay. Hope you all are well. I have a really cute little something that I'm going to bring you that came out not long ago. Um, and it's from Nigeria, but I want to point out something to you because a while back I wrote about how family planning is targeted or geared towards controlling Black populations and brown populations because we populate or we have children at a faster rate and are more fertile than them Saxons. And so the Saxons have devised plans to target us, and then they use us, our own people in our different nations, our respective countries and communities to target us, to tell us how great it is for us not to do what we were naturally created to do, because their goal at the end of the day is always to control the population. So I found this interesting story. The title, everything about it is just screaming um, WEF. So I'm going to read it. Let's get into it. Okay, it's from the leadership. It says for God and country, and this is a Nigerian publication. So the title of this piece is Breaking Cultural Beliefs in Achieving Family Planning Agenda 2030. I could just stop right now, can't I? But no, let me read this to you because I want to help you understand while they are attempting to escape the West and all the places that they've destroyed, them folks, they have their eyes set on the African continent, and now they're coming over there aggressively pushing their agendas on the natives so that they can reduce their populations and not feel threatened, take over their land, learn how to control their people. And because, you know, I hate to say the people on the continent just don't know about the Saxons the way that we know about them, and they don't try to fight them the way that we do for a variety of reasons. But it's going to end up being a terrible thing to see these people buy into these agendas because it's only going to hurt them in the long run, like it has hurt us here in America and in the Western world. So let's get into this story. Disproportionate perceptions, ideations, cultural beliefs, and myths remain major barriers against family planning in most African countries, including Nigeria. Now, who are these people to come in and tell you that your cultural beliefs and perceptions are wrong because you don't want to um, produce or not produce in the manner that they want you to, because their goal is to control how many of us it is, because they see us as useless eaters. When I say us, I just mean Black people across the diaspora in general, African, African American, Afro Latino. They don't want us here. And they want to control as many of us as they can because they understand we are going to have children at a higher rate than they do. So they feel as though we consume more resources than they do. And they need to control how many of us are on the earth at all times by any means. According to sociologists, the act or process of forming ideas or images in one's mind, otherwise known as ideations, and cultural beliefs are ingredients that fuel health inequalities. Imagine that. Having more children than the family income can comfortably take care of has been blamed for the cycle of poverty in many African societies. Not that colonizers come and steal your stuff so you can't take care of yourself. Not that, but anywho. To embrace family planning as a way of achieving poverty, eradicate and promote the health of women, reproductive health experts say the factors that mitigate against family planning must be dismantled. While family planning remains one of the key pillars of safe motherhood, many unformed people perceive it as a decoy to depopulate Africa. I'm assuming this is supposed to be many uninformed people. We are informed, honey. We are informed. We know what time it is. However, Professor Oladapo Ladipo, President Emeritus, Association for Reproductive Family Health, said that such ideations are neither here nor there. Lapidos told the news agency of Nigeria in Abuja that family planning is as old as African pre-colonial era, when the ancient Africans practiced child spacing as a way of keeping a healthy family. Well, if they were already doing it, why can't they do what they were doing before? Nobody needs Saxons to be coming telling them how to have children. He said that ideations and myths surrounding family planning should be disregarded. Ooh, the audacity, honey. He described family planning as a critical pillar for any country's roadmap to achieving demographic dividend. And so this plays into the rationale or the reason that they have to get rid of your cultural beliefs. It's like educating, brainwashing the population to do what they want you to do, and they sell you the idea and make you think that it's okay when really it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. According to the United Nations Population Fund, notice they stick that in there down to the bottom. Demographic dividend is the economic growth potential that can result from shifts in a population's age structure, mainly when the share of working age population, 15 to 64, is larger than the non-working age share of the population, 14 and younger and 65 and older. Ladipo said only a reduction in total fertility rate can impact positively on the national economy through human capital development. Literally telling you they need to reduce the fertility rate of the people in Africa. Oh, Jesus. Mrs. Yosola Akinbi, Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President on Capital Development, affirmed the positive impact of family planning in engendering human capital development. So all this capital development is about money. Human capital development is they want to insert human. It's basically about workers. This is what this is in the skinny. We want to make sure we got enough workers to keep our society going, and so that you can keep the Saxons happy, because this is all the Saxons playing. Anytime you see them two big old letters U in the end, and this Saxons, just get that in your head. She expressed the commitment of government to scale up access to family planning to all families for sustainable human capital. A reproductive health expert, Dr. Ejike Oji, said that family planning is the most effective way of reducing maternal mortality. Oji, who is the chairman Technical Management Committee Association for the Advancement of Family Planning. Ooh, they got a whole committee and everything, just all kinds of stuff to keep folks from having children. Urged the media to continuously amplify the economic and health benefits of family planning. They don't want y'all's people to be out here growing and prospering because they know their days are numbered. He explained that testimonies of family planning abound, which normally are louder and more conspicuous than ideations. He said evidence from research studies show that successful family planning contributes to about 30% reduction of maternal deaths, but no citation of that study. Evidence abound of how several countries, in particular Asian countries, have successfully advanced the practice of family planning to improve their families and economic realities. Notice they are peddling these family planning calls in countries that are expected to overpopulate the European nations. So at the end of the day, it's all about the recessives trying to uh, maintain their place because they understand soon by 2030 they will be a minority, because nobody is recessive except for them when it comes to childbirth. Between them killing their own babies and their just bodies are just don't have babies the way that we do, and they don't like each other. So there's that. They don't like each other, so they don't have sex, and then they push um, homosexuality, which means you don't reproduce. You have to find other means to produce. So all these unnatural things or attributes about that culture, um, in order for them to do what they want to do and thrive, they have to encourage the rest of us who like our cultural beliefs to either participate in what they're doing or stop having babies. According to Dr. Inua Jalingo, census manager, National Population Commission (NPC), population management is vital to harnessing demographic dividends. I just cannot even believe this is in an article. Jalingo, who emphasized the imperatives of reducing Nigeria's TFR, which is this, what was in the beginning of this article, total fertility rate. That's what TFR is. So Jalingo emphasized the imperatives of reducing Nigeria's TFR from 5.3 to internationally acceptable 2.3 per woman. So the people in Nigeria are having rates higher than the international average per woman, and they need to um, reduce that. And they warned that Nigeria's population could be the highest in the world by 2050. Here it is right here. Y'all's people are having babies and they need to kill them. Oh, everything just happens. There's nothing new under the sun. This is the equivalent of them looking for our babies in the Bible and asking for all the males to be killed. Um, It's crazy. Jalingo, however, commended Nigerian government for showing commitment to the FP 2030 plan, or that's the Family Planning 2030 plan, and prioritizing family planning in the scheme of things. He, however, frowned at the contraceptive prevalence rate of 18% and modern contraceptive prevalence rate of 13% for all women. So women ain't taking birth control and they want to get that rate up. Jalingo said that Nigeria's March to Family Planning 2030 agenda entails adolescents, young people, populations affected by crisis, and other vulnerable population making informed choices. He explained that such choices should be devoid of biases and prejudices that underlie ideations which militate against family planning. So basically, they're trying to make you feel guilty right here. But if you don't want to go along with their agenda, then you're prejudiced. See how they label you? Oh my God. Ms. Margaret Edison, sound like a white woman, Director, Department of Population Management, National Population Commission, said that populations, irrespective of education, exposure, religion, or culture, or age, need to have access to quality family planning. This is that Saxon stuff. Oh, mm. She called for mainstreaming of family planning into the nation's budget line with a view to scaling up evidence-based high-impact family planning practices. So they basically want to do like they do here in America. In America, they have family planning included in the nation's education system. So Kids can get access to family planning services at school. They can get referrals to leave school to go get birth control. They can receive family planning education in elementary, middle, and high school. And so after um, all that education, you're indoctrinated with family planning, and you come away with, it's a bad thing to have a family because you need to have few children because you got to be a worker so you can keep society going. They are basically doing what they did here in America. FP 2030 is designed to close gaps that still exist after FP 2020. Nigeria at the 2012 London Global Summit on Family Planning committed to expanding access to and use of family planning services to achieve a CPR of 36% by 2018. So I just wanted to share this story with y'all to just show how the dominant society uses family planning to recruit future workers, to keep Black people from having more babies because they can't have any. And again, it reinforces, even though they don't say it, but they see us as consumers of lots of things, like they control or own the whole earth, and they need to tell us how to live when we were basically the first people on the earth, and we know how to live. If it wasn't for them, they wouldn't be here. So, anywho, the Saxons stay at their grind, subjugating, dominating, and exterminating. We can file this story under it. I will put a link to this story in the description so that you can review it for yourself. All right, y'all, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. It's just another example of how they control us and dominate us and keep us divided. You don't know what the right hand is doing because, they wrap the left hand up and hide it from the two hand, the person, the body. So we can't, we can't get on one accord because they always keep us in the dark about what's going on. So I really wanted to shine a light on how the UN has all these different agendas and plans, and they're executing them all over the world. And, the goal is to make sure that white people are comfortable and they are intimidated when there's too many of us on this earth. So, anytime you decide to take anything from the Saxons, they are going to break your cultural beliefs. Their plans are going to supersede your beliefs. And this headline I thought was just, I couldn't believe how explicit it was. But I mean, it is what it is. Nobody's hiding anything anymore. All right, y'all, I'm out.